Hi, this is Jack. This is going to be my bar-by-bar review of the S&P 500 futures contract for Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Let me get the futures contract pulled up here and talk about the daily chart real quick. So coming into the day, we're going sideways and forming a small tight trading range on the higher time frame, the daily chart. And it looks like we potentially have a micro double bottom with the prior day. We also have trap bears selling below this bar, maybe getting out, and we have support down here at this low and that low. So I suspect more sideways price action. And today we have a big gap up. Here is bar one. Okay, let's do this then. So we have bar one, big bear bar. We have a fairly big gap up, and we rallied to test the higher time frame moving average here. Let me do one thing. And we sold off. This bar is closing on its low. It's a big bar and a strong bar. So that means big risk, but also probably high probability that we get some sort of directional movement down before we reverse up. As with any open, I suspect a trading range and bad follow through, but probably going lower. So bar two, good follow through, right at the moving average, possibly always in short. To me, I would have thought that we found support around these trading range highs, but we broke below those, and now we're testing the close of the prior day, and we're closing right about that price level above the moving average. For that reason, I suspect we find buyers down here and buyers below for a pullback and a second leg down of this sell-off. Strong reversal up, closing on its high tick. I suspect we go higher. Maybe a high two from the breakout starting at the end of the day yesterday. But really good signal bar, and you're expecting a pullback anyways from the sell-off. So this, in my opinion, is a high probability buy setup. And then we get a surprisingly strong bar on four. Probably going higher, but may need to pull back. This is climactic. It's bigger than the prior bar, both the body and the range. So I expect a pullback, but probably going higher. Probably always in long, but trading range. Getting close to the top of the range, the high of one, but still far enough away for a scalp. And then another climactic bar on 5. 5 is even bigger than the prior bar, so this is not sustainable, and this does not look like the start of a strong trend in either direction today, so likely we're in a trading range, and likely we'll find sellers somewhere up here. We're breaking above the higher time frame moving average here, and back inside of this tight trading range from the prior day. Sorry, that's the hotkey for NinjaTrader. And give me one sec. So what I wanted to measure here was the middle of the trading range. So from the high here to the low here, the black line is the middle, and that's right where we are right now. So we got a trading range, a breakout, looks like it's failing, and now we're reversing out back into this trading range. And the whole chart is a trading range in and of itself. So I suspect to find sellers up here, but really strong bars, strong closes, closing on their extremes. Probably going to go higher. So 6, we went a little bit higher, but tail, signaling that we're losing momentum up here, and we may fail this price level. Deep pullback and another bar. Good for the bulls, but still smaller bars and less of overlap, so we're forming a trading range on a smaller time frame. Climactic bar on, when is this, 8? So I suspect profit taking above it and probably at the close of this bar. And then 9, inside bar, bull bar, testing yesterday's high, failing to close above. We may have the top of the trading range here if we get a strong bear bar, like 10. I think 10 is a good sell to close bar. The only problem is we have last week's low right here, the higher time frame moving average here, and the open of the day on bar 1 here. If this is a bull trend, this is probably a bull channel. Therefore, we could get a deep pullback maybe to the moving average, and then we might find buyers. But we also have a really strong gap from the low of 6 to the high of this buy signal bar here, so there could be buyers anywhere in between here. But because we have big down, big up, I suspect we're going to have more big down. So to me, sell the close, sell the pullback. This is probably one of the best trades of the day, along with buying above 3 or buying the close of 4. Climactic bear breakout. Probably going lower, but tail, we may pull back a little bit. So that's what we get on 12. Now we have a doji trading range. We're testing the buy signal high on 3 and hesitating. That means that the bulls really would like a leg 2 up from this rally. We have leg 1, pullback leg 2. Now a really strong leg 1 for the bears. A small spike and channel pattern on a smaller time frame. We have a new low on 12, and I suspect we go a little bit lower. Small pullback and then a bigger breakout on 13, but not closing below the prior bar. So bears are scalping out down here. Probably reasonable to be short, but I'd look to get out a scalp size above any of these bars, but probably sellers above these highs for a little second leg down. So we have 14 here. 14 made a higher low, so that means that bears are increasingly scalping out of their positions with each new low. Therefore, we may begin to rally. 15, a new low, not a new low of the day, but another doji bar. So lots of bad follow through after this big strong bear bar, and you got to be thinking that we could start to reverse up here. We tested the low close on 13 and 15 here, and for that reason I suspect we go a little bit higher. So we have 16 closing right at the moving average and tail and climactic bar. This looks more like a trading range than the start of a bull swing. Deep pullback in a rally, but again a climactic bar, prominent tail, testing the top of the channel starting on 12 but failing to close above makes me think that we're going to find profit taking up here for any bulls that were long in here. It's also roughly about, let me draw it this way, a 50% pullback of this entire sell-off. So therefore, probably bears selling here, selling above, stop up there. 18, not a very great sell signal bar, but it is. It's an inside bar, weak close. I suspect we go lower, but we might need a second leg up from 16, 17, but more likely we're going to get some more downside. And then 19, bit of a surprise, second leg down from the sell-off on 10, and tail. This may be a buy the close bar rather than a sell the close bar because of the big tail and climactic behavior of this trading range so far. We're also breaking out below a trading range, 15 and 3. Therefore, bears that are short here are likely not going to give up the profit that they have. We have 1R if your stop is above the bar, and a little bit more than 1R if your stop was above the signal bar. Going sideways inside bar, this may not be enough to reverse this bear trend, but we're at the bottom of a trading range. We have a higher low, prominent tail on this climax bar, and we have a bull inside bar. I suspect if we go above this bar, bears may begin to cover, or they'll begin to initiate new shorts with whatever pullback that we get. Failed breakout to the downside 21, and rally outside bar, trading range, so not an ideal buy signal, but I think it is reasonable to start getting out of shorts, betting on a deeper pullback, maybe all the way back up here. So probably going higher, but we may need to pull back first. That's where we get 22, probably still going higher, 3-bar micro channel, probably buyers below, but also right around the midpoint of this sell-off, so we may start to find sellers. Also a breakout test of the close on 15, but we had a failed breakout test of the low of 15 here, and trapped bears on 21 and 20. So therefore, we may continue to go higher, and bears may look to sell above the last strong bear bar in this sell-off, 19, or for a double top with 17. Another outside up bar, trapping the bears again, selling below this third bar in the micro channel and reversing up, but again a climactic bar, and really not ideal. The tails on the top of the bars tell me that the bulls are scalping out of their positions into the close of the bar, and this is climactic behavior, which is not sustainable. Therefore, this looks more like a leg in a trading range rather than a strong bull swing that's going to last many bars like here. Channeling higher, but inside bar, probably going a little higher, but maybe sellers up here. Channeling higher again, same as before, and then climactic breakout. Looks like we didn't quite get to the high close here. I suspect we may break out below this bar. We may find buyers. We have a lot of consecutive bull bars up, and lots of overlap, so I'm not sure if there's any trapped bears. If you're a bear and you sold this high, you were able to make money. Same story here, same story there, and same story here. So there's no trapped bears in this rally, and probably the strong bears are stepping aside, waiting for the bulls to see what they can do, and then looking to sell higher. We're running the risk now of having a double top with a high close. We're not quite there. My EMA is telling me we're trying to flip to always and long, but I'm suspicious here. We're in a trading range and we might be in a lower range here. and the top may be right here. Sell signal bar 27, reasonable short, but right above the moving average and no bear body. So not ideal and not very strong, but we did test the high close, which is the minimum goal I thought we would have. So I suspect we're going lower, but instead outside up 28, strong bar late in a rally, could be climactic, and we could be forming a tight trading range. We have an expanding triangle on a smaller time frame here, and we're still running the risk of double topping with 17. Outside down, another bar in the expanding triangle, 29, breaking out below the moving average but finding buyers, probably hoping for a second leg up and a test of the high close. 30, inside bar but tail. If you're a bull and you bought the close of 28 and you bought more here at the close of 29, you may be looking to get out around the midpoint here, so probably sellers above. We're trying to trap the bears selling below 27, 28, and 30 and reversing up here. We have a shaved outside up bar, but really not ideal context. We're in a tight trading range. You could say maybe we'll get a second leg up from this rally, but we have several spike breaks here, and we don't really have any trapped bears, so I suspect bears that sold below 30 and scaled in are probably going to make money. Bulls, they want a second leg up, the double top to fail and breakout, but if they don't get it, they're going to have to get out of shorts probably below these lows, and that's what's happening here. Failing to close below these bars, so I suspect we pull back. It's a second leg down from the outside down 29 in an overall tight trading range. Looks like we're channeling lower with lower lows and lower highs here on a smaller time frame, and it looks like the double top may be in effect, but it's not convincing yet. 33 reversing up, buyers at the close, tight trading range, testing the high close. So maybe a double top, micro double top with a bigger double top. We have a clear tight trading range here. And whatever breakout we get, we have measured move targets. Bear breakout, testing the low close 32, but failing to close down here. Therefore, we may pull back, but I suspect we go a little bit lower, and then surprise breakout 35. 35 covered a lot of distance, so I suspect we're going to go lower, but we may pull back because it's a bit climactic. But then again, the whole day is a little bit climactic. So I suspect we're going lower, tail, but not that prominent, not too climactic, but somewhat climactic, so I expect to pull back in a second leg down. Instead, sellers at the close of 35. Climactic bar 36, bit of an expanding triangle or a bear channel happening here. So we may find profit taking and buyers down here. But instead, we get a follow through bar. So we're breaking out of a tight trading range here with follow through, and now we're breaking out of another trading range here with follow through. And now we're trying to break out of a bear channel, but this is the breakout bar. We need follow through. I suspect we go lower, but we need to get more follow through. We also have last week's low here. Is that last week's low? Or this would be a monthly low, I think. Let me fix one thing here because okay. Let's change this is day. Let's change month to, I guess, solid lines. There we go. So last month's low, not far below. I suspect we'll get there. It's an obvious magnet. It's January. You expect to pull back on the higher time frames, especially given the context of the daily chart. We're below yesterday's low, and I suspect we go lower. Lots of trading range price action, so I'd be quick to get out of shorts. Good follow through for the bears. I suspect we go a little bit lower, but a little climactic. And then doji, this is a signal that we may start to go sideways. 39, I suspect we go lower. I suspect trading range down here. 40, shaved bar, late in a trend. Maybe we'll find buyers down here, so we have this outside up bar at 41. Minor reversal, I suspect sellers up here. Second leg up, 42, but still probably sellers up here. And here we have 43. Testing low close and reversing up, I suspect buyers below, instead buyers at the close. Failed bull breakout, testing the high close, I suspect sellers above, instead sellers at the close for an inside bar. I suspect we break out to the downside, but may be disappointing. We have another small tight trading range. Consecutive climaxes down, and we're forming a tight trading range, so betting on a breakout here is a little risky. 46, I'd get out above that bar, therefore it's probably a reasonable stop entry long. I would just use a slightly wider stop. Bad entry bar, so I'd look to get out up here, but I suspect we go a little bit higher. Trying to go outside up, but closing inside of the prior bar's range, therefore probably sellers above. I suspect we go a little bit higher, instead sellers at the close. Now we're trying to break out of the range, but I don't think we're closing below this low. Or maybe just barely. Let's see the follow through. Bad follow through. Big bull bar, but tail. I suspect this is a breakout pullback and the bears want a second leg down. I suspect buyers below. We may go lower. We're channeling lower, but pretty disappointing if I'm a bear. And then test of the close and a rally 51. 51, reasonable buy the close bar, stop down here. We have trapped bears selling below these lows, but we also have trapped bulls buying above these bars. So not a high probability bet, but reasonable. Micro double bottom, trapped bears. Inside bar, probably buyers below. Stop run for the bulls, so probably buyers here. Channeling lower still, maybe a little bit more down. Instead, buyers at the close, 54. It's confusing, and that's because it's mostly a trading range, even though we're channeling lower. I'm sure on a smaller time frame, this is more of a broad channel. 54, maybe going a little bit higher, but I expect disappointment. Instead, bit of a surprise, good follow through. 55, reasonable to buy the close, stop down here for a swing. Maybe betting on a test up of yesterday's low, or at least a test above these highs for a scalp. Bad follow through, but I suspect buyers below. Same here at 57, and then reversing up 58, prominent tail, right below the moving average. I suspect buyers still below, but probably somewhat disappointing for the bulls. We have a breakout test of this open, but we're overlapping here, so there's a negative gap, and that's not very strong. So I'd be quick to get out if we break out to the downside. Instead, we're breaking out to the upside. Give me 1 sec. 59, bull breakout, probably going higher. Test of last month's low. We broke out below, oscillated around for a bit, and now we're trying to break back above. I suspect we go a little bit higher, but I'd be very careful about it. Probably need to use a wide stop. In fact, I probably wouldn't even be interested in trading this, but watch, we'll probably go higher because I said that. 60, channeling higher, closing above a swing high. We might be always in long, but I think the bulls need to do more. We probably need to pull back here. 61, pull back. Breakout test. We have a body gap open here, so we may find buyers down here. Prominent tail. Test of last month's low. I suspect we go higher. Instead, bear breakout, pullback, sell. Implied 2 legs down. We might head for the low close here on 57. Bull breakout, but bad entry bar, so maybe sellers up here. Outside up, a little bit of a neurotic bar. Probably sellers above, buyers below. Rallying, so I expect sellers up here. 66, maybe going lower, but bottom of an overall trading range. I expect a pullback and a second leg down. Instead, a strong reversal up. Probably going higher, probably a pullback and a second leg up. Pause bar, buyers below. 69, testing yesterday's low. It's a wedge. I suspect we go a little bit higher. We might pull back first. It's a bad high one, so maybe sellers up there. Channeling higher, bad entry bar. Probably sellers. Sellers. Outside down, sellers. There it is. Another breakout test, this time of the signal bar here. The bad buy signal bar. So I suspect we go a little bit lower, but probably find buyers down here. 75. Small bar. Maybe going a little bit higher. 76. Yeah, we might go a little bit higher, but really not all that impressive. I'd be certainly flat through most of this. Probably sellers up here. Probably going a little bit lower, but disappointing, I bet. So 78. Probably sellers above. Sideways into the close. Interesting day overall. Trading range open. Bear breakout, small channel. Trading range up. Tight trading range, bear breakout. Channeling lower, but mostly a trading range, and then weak bull breakout up, turning into really a trading range, and then another breakout, another trading range. Really, it's just consecutive trading ranges. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. What did I don't know what I did. I hope I didn't fuck anything up. What the hell did I do? I was trying to draw a rectangle over the trading ranges, so we have one here. We have a breakout here, but probably a trading range here. Obviously a trading range here. We have a tight trading range here inside of an overall trading range here. And then this whole thing was a trading range. So many consecutive trading ranges today. This is what I was trying to, okay. So yeah, that's my read. That's what I think. This is what we got on the daily chart. We found buyers down here. I suspect maybe we go a little bit higher, but I think the higher time frames are getting pretty bearish. We're in a bear channel on the 60-minute chart. We're inside of a bear breakout in a weak broad channel so far. On the daily chart, I suspect we go a little bit lower. Let's take a peek at the weekly chart because that's happening tomorrow. It's Friday. I suspect we form a strong bear bar, but maybe we'll get a disappointing little bear doji like we have right now. Anyway, that's my read. Thanks for watching.